Hey guys, it's Nina, and today I'm going to be bringing you my August wrap-up. This month I read a total of 3 books, and I just want to make this video as quick as possible because I don't have a lot of time to film right now, so let's jump right in. The first book that I completed this month was Illuminated by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and this book was amazing. I was actually buddy reading this with Rebecca over at Eleni Lunar. She's one of my booktube besties. I will leave her channel down below and like in that corner thing because she's amazing and you should all check her out. But this book was so good. It was 5 out of 5 stars, amazing. Like, this book is so hyped up on booktube and it's completely worth it and justified. It's just so good. So Illuminated, if you don't know, is a very like high sci-fi book, and the entire thing is a case file, so it isn't told from a first person or second person. The entire thing is like emails or surveillance footage or IMs, and it's just so creative and so well done. And then on top of that, like, it wasn't just a good book because of the format or how interesting it was, although that was awesome, but it was amazing plot and the characters were really good too. Like, I was expecting kind of weak characters because you don't get that first person like thoughts and like you aren't in anyone's head, but it was still amazing and I still felt connected to the characters. It was more like a movie or a TV show where you were watching everything, but you still got the humanism and the relatability of the characters, and it was still all there even though you weren't in those characters' heads. And I just really appreciated how this book was laid out. Like, they really took advantage of some like spreads. You'll hear me talk about this a lot on my channel because I really appreciate like artistic spreads when it comes to books or comic books. My favorite page of the whole book is this one because it's just very sci-fi. Like, it had that sci-fi vibe to it, and this isn't going to make sense to anyone who hasn't read this book, but I just really appreciated this one page in particular, like especially. But this book just blew my mind and it was so good, and I completely recommend it if you guys haven't read it. And bonus, come October, the Biblio Squad is going to be discussing Gemina when it comes out, and I am very highly anticipating Gemina now because this was just so good. The next book that I read is another favorite here on BookTube, and that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I give this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. This was quite good. It did take me a while to get into. It was one of those books, like, I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, but I did enjoy it overall. This is basically a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It's new adult, it's wonderful. So thoughts on this? The plot was okay. To be honest, not that much happens in this book. Like, it's not very plot driven at all. It's very character driven, and I liked the characters, but I didn't love them. Feyre, to be honest, reminded me a lot of Clary Frey. Like, you know, you've all seen those people on BookTube who say they tried to get into the Mortal Instruments but they couldn't because Clary was so annoying, because Clary just like charges ahead and does things even when people tell her not to do those things. Feyre is the same way and reminded me of Clary in that aspect. Like, I just was getting so frustrated with her. I'm just like, Feyre, stop. Feyre needs to get under control. I really liked Lucian as a character. He was probably my favorite one. And then I really liked Tamlin. I didn't love him, but I liked him, and I'm totally Team Tamlin, and I'm very scared to read Akamath because I know I'm not gonna be Team Tamlin after that, but I don't like Rice at all, so I'm just very scared to read the next one of these. But those are my general thoughts. Again, it was like fine, and I do plan to read the next one, of course, because everyone says that Akamath is so much better, and I did start reading like the first 3 or 4 chapters, but I just don't think I'm gonna get to it anytime soon because school is starting and school is insanity and there's so many new releases coming out, and I just don't know when I'm gonna have time to pick up Akamath, but hopefully soonish, I don't know. But yeah, those are my thoughts. The next book that I read this month was The Ultimate Comic SpiderMan by Bendis and Pichelli. And this is basically the origin story for Miles Morales, who is the new Spider-Man. Basically, Miles Morales is a new character who replaces Peter Parker. He also gets bit by a radioactive spider, etc., etc. And this was really good. I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. This is exactly what I wanted Spider-Gwen to be. In one of my July wrap-ups, I was rambling about how Spider-Gwen, I expected it to be an origin story, and how Gwen Stacy got her powers and came to be Spider-Gwen, and it wasn't that at all. This was an origin story, and I really loved that because we got to know Miles as a character. We got to be introduced to him from the beginning. We got to see why he chooses to become Spider-Man and how he goes about that, and I just really appreciated that. This is a great comic to get started with and just jump right in because it explains everything right from the get-go. Like, you don't have to read other comics to understand it, and it was just really great, and I can't wait to read more about Miles in the future. And then the last book that I'm currently reading but haven't finished yet is The Trials of Apollo Book 1, The Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan. That was a mouthful. I only have about 100 more pages in this, so I'm definitely going to finish it soon, probably before the month ends and before this video goes up. But I'm feeling I don't know how I feel about this. I really like some parts, other parts I'm like, this is fine. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, but I am enjoying it. I'm definitely liking seeing all the old Camp Half-Blood characters and seeing them woven in, especially Percy. Percy shows up at the beginning and it's amazing. So this is like #1 on my TBR for September / it'll probably be finished before September starts. And then I usually don't do TBRs, but I know I'm definitely gonna be reading Empire of Storms and possibly Crooked Kingdom because that comes out at the very end of the month as well. And you know, September is just gonna be all the new releases. So that was my August wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books lately or what you've been reading, etc. And give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you liked it, and I will see you guys later with another video. Bye!